life gives us so many things to talk about in the booth. You know what I mean? Like, you can never run out of material if you just pay attention to life. And some people always say, hey man, how do you keep doing it after 20 plus? Like, you know what I'm saying? I even hear other rappers being asked this question, like, yo, how do you keep coming up with material and things of that nature? But if you just pay attention to life, there's an unlimited amount of material. And it's like, yo, COVID made us all adjust our game. You know what I mean? I was strong on the Crook's corner. I was on my content game, you know, and then social distancing said, hey, you gotta hold up, buddy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm fresh off an Eminem interview, about to roll into a Cool G Rap interview. And it was like, yo, I had to shut down because of COVID. So I had to adjust. So in that, and you know, in that perspective, yes, you know, it did affect me. But as far as creatively, I just never let nothing stop me, because where I come from, if you stop, you might not make it, you know what I mean? So you gotta keep grinding, you gotta keep working, you gotta keep going no matter what. And you gotta always think outside of your environment, you know what I mean? Because your environment might be hostile, but you gotta think outside of it. You gotta have bigger dreams than what's going on. So my whole thing was, all right, cool, this is bad, this is fucked up, you know, it's a lot of people hurting. I'm gonna do what I can to help people, and I'm gonna keep on creating, because nothing's gonna stop me, not even COVID, you feel me? So my fans told me, and they said it was cool for me to call them fans. You know what I'm saying? They told me that I did like 30 something features, indie features this year, 35, 36, I probably more. But there are a lot of standout verses out there for me, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I Will, you know what I mean? On Music to Be Murdered By, that right there. You know, I feel like that's the bar of the year. I feel like the Abraham Lincoln bar, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bruh, I go ham for dead presidents. You know, John Wilkes is what I'm in the booth like. I mean, the whole scheme, I just feel like nobody really tied all of that together as well. You know what I'm saying? There's been some lines about that, but I feel like that was the best that it has been tied together. Let me tell you, some of my punchlines and metaphors and similes, sometimes somebody builds on it and they make it better, you know, and I'm like, yo, why didn't I think about that? You know what I'm saying? But on this particular one, I think that's the bar of the year. The I think that's the bar of the year. Verse of the year contender, because there's a lot of dope ass verses out there, you know what I'm saying? From a lot of Titans, and some Jedis came out to play this year. We got blessed. I would say, I mean, the Russ joint ain't too shabby. You know, the joint with Russ, you know, the Stockholm Syndrome joint. What else, dog? I rap with a lot of people this year, man. I got one with Rock, but it hasn't dropped yet. That verse is crazy. I'm gonna go with the, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Russ right now, man. I'm gonna go with the Russ for right now as a contender. But I got some things that are still coming that, oh my God, bro. I need everybody to hurry up and send them features back so I could drop. I like that J Electronica joint, man. You know what I'm saying? And I like that Ghost of Soulja Slim too, man. Like, you know, I feel like they use that clip from Farrakhan. He says, "Oh, you scared to death, Negroes." You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that is so funny to me, because I know so many people who are afraid to speak their minds, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, they kind of really touched on a nerve there. And then I just feel like Jay, he floated with the cadence. His delivery on that record was crazy. He just floated all over that record, man. Shouts to them for getting that nomination too, you know what I'm saying? The Grammy nomination is looking like some hot new hip hop would have did, you know what I'm saying? Not the Grammys. You know what I'm saying? You know, they call us the holy trinity of lyricism, you know, me, Royce, and M, you know what I mean? So, you know, they put the church emoji when they talk about it, you know what I'm saying? So definitely something from Royce, definitely something from M. You know, I think Benny got it in this year. I think Black Thought got it in this year. You know what I'm saying? That verse Black Thought did. Well, any verse Black Thought did, but the verse Black Thought did on Russ's project, that's a stellar verse too. Benny too. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of dudes out there, man, who drop some killer verses, man. But I mean, Eminem is always in the talks. I don't care. They love to hate him. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people been trying to push my homie out of the culture. You know what I mean? They've been making sly remarks, people with platforms, you see what I'm saying? And they think, and this ain't just me speaking from a homeboy level. This is me speaking from a fan and a technician myself. You can't push Marshall out the game. He's one of the greatest pens to ever exist in hip hop. And it ain't gonna change no time soon. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Eminem, they always get me when I talk about him. You know, everybody, you talking, you know. But Eminem is one for sure. You know what I'm saying? Royce got nominated for a Grammy, you know what I mean? So you know his pen was going crazy, you know what I'm saying? And Black Thought as usual. Sa Rock probably, I know she did some things this year. That was incredible. Rhapsody, you know what I'm saying? Incredible. Listen, we can go to the ladies if you want, because I could talk about 3D Not T, I could talk about Lady London, I could talk about Snow the Product. We could just go there too. So it's a lot of competition out there, you know what I'm saying? May the best man or woman win. You know, they just need people like us, bro, because we know how to exist in both worlds. You know what I'm saying? And that's all you ever really need. But I believe Lil Baby should have got a nomination. You know what I'm saying? I think Lil Baby should have got a nomination for sure. Some of those other names I was hearing floating around Twitter, I'm not gonna say it because I'm not here to take shots at nobody, but I didn't feel like some of those other names should have been mentioned. But Lil Baby, for sure, I think he should have definitely got a nomination. He had an incredible year. He impacted the culture, and you know, he's dope. Like a lot of these young guys, they just need to sit and talk to the older guys, you know what I'm saying, that's doing it, the veterans and the lyricists, so-called lyricist community. They'll find out that a lot of us like them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I listen to Lil Durk, I listen to Lil Baby, obviously, I listen to Roddy Ricch, you know what I'm saying? These dudes are dope, you know what I'm saying? Polo G is dope. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, but as far as being snubbed, they can absolutely feel that way because, you know, they put in the work, they made the impact, and like you said, they are driving the culture forward. You know, they're not taking us back. You know, there was whack people when I was 20 years old rapping. They was whack people then. You know what I'm saying? There's no age limit on being dope or whack, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the old heads act like there was nobody whack back in the day, you know what I'm saying? That's not true, you know what I mean? So we just want to see dope music being put out and the culture being represented the right way, and a lot of these young cats are doing it, and I salute them, man. So yeah, you're right. I definitely Lil Baby, man. Come on, y'all ain't gonna put Lil Baby in there, you know what I'm saying? Damn. That's a good ass question because you got Mood Music, the Mood Music series. Now, are we talking about a popularity contest? Because if it's a popularity contest, Joe has a good advantage there. You know what I'm saying? He has a good advantage if we're talking like that. As far as that goes, if we're talking about we just playing 20 bangers each, it's gonna all go down with the Mood Music series for Joe. You could pick anything from Royce. He hits targets when he makes his project. He hits fucking targets. You know what I'm saying? I know Joel. I'm gonna say he's gonna pull out probably this right here. You know what I'm saying? This Monday right here, you know. Monday, Mona Lisa, as you can see, I keep the gang around. Mona Lisa, Monday, he's got a lot of dope shit that he could pull. You know, I'm gonna probably hit him with a bunch of hip hop weeklies from the first hip hop weekly series, because hip hop heads around the world have told me that that's my blueprint. That's my Illmatic, is the first body of, you know, hip hop weekly body of work. So yeah, we gonna go at it, man. But one thing that all three of them guys need to pay attention to is it's not only about the records you play and how they impact it. It's about which ones you choose, how do you counter in certain rounds, and are you entertaining the people watching? Are you just sitting back, pushing play? Or are you doing how Snoop was, MCing, freestyling, joking, having fun? All that matters. See, I'm giving them game in case they want to ever do this. I could have kept that to myself and just busted out the whole package on them, you know what I'm saying? But they need to know. But I don't know, bro. I wouldn't want to go against my brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to go against my brothers. But if I was losing, I would just cut the shit off and be like, all right, right now, let's go bar for bar, a cappella. Fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? And go straight for the juggler. Straight up. Freestyle off the top of the head. I'll get crazy in there, man. So, you know. But nah, man. I'm not doing that, man. Them dudes, Royce's fucking prime, bar exams, fucking layers, Book of Ryan, the allegory. He has hit, that fucking, you know, when you target practice, that fucking target is shredded. He hits them, bro. And I tell him this all the time. He plays me this shit before it hits the public. And I'm like, dog, that's a fucking classic you just played me. You know what I'm saying? He made some classic shit. He's in the zone right now. So he's a tough competitor. A lot of people on the West Coast who didn't get a chance to be a part of that energy, they'll let you know that was like the dream for rappers on the West, was to be on Death Row Records. You know, even with all the violence, the drama, the negativity surrounding it, the sound that came out of that studio, you just wanted to be a part of it. The projects, the albums, it was just something that you would dream about. And, you know, I feel blessed that Suge was like, yo, listen, man, you the best dude on the West right now. I was like, who, me? He was like, yeah. I was like, well, you know what? Let's go. And to be a part of that machine and to work with the same engineers and beat makers and be in the same booth Tupac was in, you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature is just like, it's a blessing, man. So shouts out to Death Row. I'm glad they're having a resurgence. I'm glad Snoop kind of, you know what I mean, squashed his differences with Suge, you know what I mean? And rest in peace to all the fallen soldiers from Death Row. That's something that a lot of people don't talk about. They talk about Tupac, you know, they talk about that, and as they should, as being one of the GOATs. But there was a lot of Death Row affiliates who put their life on the line for the label, who you know, are fallen soldiers now, like Buntry, Al, Hen Dog, you know, Shorty. Just the list goes on, man. I want to say rest in peace to them too, you know what I mean? Because they watching us too. And it's like, they all built that together, you know? And I came in on the last chapter and just held it down as much as I could, but they was trying to blackball us, so it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? I think Griselda has a chance. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, I feel like they're on the cusp of, you know, going to that next level. And once they go into that next level and they start really asserting themselves in mainstream, you know, the mainstream population of music, I feel like sky's the limit for them if they keep that energy and they manage to stick together, because success breaks up crews. You know what I'm saying? And if they can stick together and really put their foot down in the mainstream side of things, I feel like they got a good chance to be a great label. Obviously TDE, you know, but they operate differently. I like how TDE operates. They operate more about the art. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what the focus should always be. You got a lot of people, man. I mean, quality control, man. They're doing their thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're getting busy. It's a lot of people out there who could do it, man. But it's just very hard to try to duplicate, you know, Snoop Doggy Dogg, Dr. Dre, Tupac Shakur. You know what I mean? And then Nate Dogg, Lady of Rage, Dog Pound, Dazzy Corrupt. You know, it's an all-star lineup, man. And they made a big impact and they sold a shit ton of records. Man, I like to call my community or our community the Rap Connoisseurs. And I say rap instead of hip hop because rap allows us to talk about everything rap. You know what I'm saying? When you go to hip hop, the word hip hop, the term, a lot of people are very protective of that term and very defensive over it. You know what I'm saying? So you start talking about certain things and they're like, oh, he's not hip hop. So, you know, it's like, no, just to eliminate that, we're going to call this the Rap Connoisseur Community. So therefore, anybody who's rapping, we can speak about. That's one. Number two, I try to mediate between people when they start trying to throw around insults at each other for having different opinions. You know what I'm saying? There's no need for us to insult each other's opinions. And sometimes I highlight the wildest opinions just to show people that, hey, this is the wildest opinion ever, but look how I'm interacting with this wild opinion. It's cool. Everything's okay. Come on in, the water's fine. You know, like, let's not bash each other over our rap opinions. So I try to create a cool environment where people can speak to each other and have respect for each other's opinions, laugh and joke, and, you know, keep the conversation on an elevated level, you know, none of that low vibration shit. So it's a lot of pros when I'm discussing hip hop on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Some of the cons are, you know, I'm a busy man as far as me personally, you know what I'm saying? I run a merch operation, COB, you know, merch company. I run, you know, the label. I do all my shit indie, you know what I'm saying? I do content. So it's like, to sit there for hours and in between and multitask and keep conversations going with people, you know, I love it, but it's not an easy thing to do. I think that would be the only con. I mean, as far as generally, yeah, when people bring negative energy, we don't want that. You know what I'm saying? We're here to have a good conversation because, look, man, you go on the timeline, you see COVID-19, you see Trump, you see Biden, you see people are hurting all over the world. You see, you know, stimulus checks needed. You see all this stuff. I just want to be there to provide a little relief, get your mind off things, talk about something that you love, you know what I'm saying, that we all love. And I see, you know, how New Hip Hop doing it too. So it's like, you know, just being there is a giant pro for me. I don't see too many cons. And if I see them, you know, I try to figure out, well, how can we fix this and adjust that? The energy surrounding the music, what you were doing, you were graduating when this album came out, or you were, you know, and you're right, you gotta like experience it real quickly and then you're on to the next, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's an unfortunate side effect, bro, that we don't really know what the real side effects will be because we're still in that moment. You know how streaming has changed people's output. You know, a lot of people are like, well, hey, if I'm only going to get 1 million streams a project, then I got to drop 5 projects, you know, or, you know, if I'm only going to get this amount, I got to stay in their face because we are competing for people's attention. So a lot of people are like, yo, I have to stay in my fan base's face or else they'll look to the other guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, it's a real different ball game. It's different, man. And some of these artists are still playing it like like if you're a Kendrick, you can sit back for a while. You know what I mean? You got to pull a surprise. You don't have to drop to get anybody's attention or maintain anybody's, you know, you can just do what you want. But unfortunately, the majority of artists, they're not in that position. So they're like, okay, so what's my approach going to be? You know what I mean? And they say, hey man, I got to go out here and make 50 songs. I did the weeklies when I did the first weeklies, my brother, nobody was putting music on the internet at that rate. Not one artist. You know what I'm saying? And what it did was it opened the floodgates. People said, hey, wait a minute, I don't have to put out 13 songs a year. I could come on the internet and put out how many songs, however many I want. Look what he just did. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of opened the floodgates, and I noticed that it kind of kicked off the culture of putting out a lot of material. And that wasn't really my intent. You know, my intent was, I'm tired of putting out a song and the blogs put it on the front page for 1 day, 2 days, and then it's lost in the shuffle. I want to be on the front page of every blog once a week for a whole year. You know what I'm saying? And I also wanted to create distance between me and the stigma of Death Row Records, because a lot of people in the industry didn't want to deal with me because I was a former Death Row artist. So I had to create a brand new story for them to think about. You know what I'm saying? And I did it, made the first freshman cover, XXL, you know, because of it, toured the world because of it, and, you know, established myself a little more. So I get why these artists are saying, well, hey, I need to do what I have to do in this climate. But again, like you just mentioned, dude, how can we look back and say such and such had 5 classic albums, you know, and he only made them in 2 years? Like, how do we say that those are, you know, we haven't, it's just crazy. I kind of feel for people, dog. People like, yo, should I rap Crook? Should I really just put everything into rapping? I'm like, yo, do you have other career options? You know what I'm saying? Because, yo, dude, this ain't the old days. This shit is fucking the Hunger Games. You know what I'm saying? I had an album, Say Hi to the Bad Guy, on Death Row. Man, dog, when played the first single at Hot 97 on Angie Martinez's show, they went crazy. They brought it back. The calls, the phone line just lit up. What in the fuck is this shit we're listening to? Because they didn't really never hear a punchline rapper from the West making jams. You know what I'm saying? It was like, that was new to them. And I was waiting, dude. I had a fucking billboard on top of the offices of Death Row in Beverly Hills. It was me taking a shit. A cartoon of me taking a shit on everybody, you know what I'm saying? And kids used to walk by and just point up and laugh and shit. I'd be in the office looking down, and, you know, I had monster trucks wrapped with the album. I had everything ready to go. But at this point in Suge's, you know, Suge's career as an exec, no majors wanted to fuck with him. He just got out of the pen, and no majors wanted to fuck with him. They were like, yo, he's the boogeyman. We don't want him to gain any more power again. You see what happened the first time. So we went indie, and Suge just wasn't used to independent releases. He was like, wait a minute. When they told him what my projections were for my first week, he wanted to pull the album. Like, nah, we're not doing that. Because he was used to going damn near platinum in the first week with his products, you know what I'm saying, before he got locked up. But the game had changed when he got out, and, you know, E1 was the major player in independent world, and they gave us some great numbers, like, yo, we're gonna sell this many. And I'm like, that's cool shit. And then, like, he's like, nah, I pulled it back, and the album never came out. So a lot of my fans, they always want to know, like, man, can we hear that album? And, you know, it got sold when Death Row was auctioned off. The feds seized Death Row and auctioned a lot of shit. My masters were in a briefcase that someone bought. So somebody walked away with my masters and then sold them to the new company that bought Death Row Records. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a mess, but I got lost in that. I got lost in that shuffle. I saw Raz when he got lost. You know, that's a friend of mine. I saw him when he got lost in that shuffle and he was putting Slave on his shit, like how Prince was doing and going at it with Priority. People don't understand. This is a teachable moment for young artists who are tuning in to me and you right now and listening and reading and doing all and just basically absorbing this game. This is a teachable moment. When you get a major record deal, that's only step one. You haven't made it to the finish line yet. Now you have to get the whole entire building excited about your project. You got to get everybody in that building, the A&Rs, the street team, the execs, excited about your album. If you don't, listen, they'll put you out and you'll just basically be a tax write-off, or, you know, they have a certain quota of projects they need to deliver once a year. You'll just become one of those, and you may not see the light of day, or you'll go under the radar, no marketing. Your fans will feel like you flopped. They don't understand. If somebody has $2 million in marketing and somebody has 50,000 in marketing, the numbers are gonna look different. I don't care what the music sounds like. So, teachable moment, guys. When you get in that first deal, understand it's not over. You still gotta it's a marathon. Rest in peace, Nipsey. It's a marathon. But yeah, bro, I used to love that though. I know I'm ranting. I used to love that. Go to the record store, open it up, look at who produced what, who did the artwork. Hey, what studio was this shit made in? Oh shit, they made it. All that shit was just fucking the shit.